Well, hello, my dear resin monkeys. Oh, what is that you say? Oh, we're not over there, we're here. And where is here? Well, we are sitting at my computer. Now, you all wanted me to bring out more content, and I want to give you more content. So one of the things that happens here on this channel is that it takes a while, and I mean a while, to bring out the good, the juicy, the delicious content that all of you love, which is the long videos that I usually upload every month or so. But unfortunately, this is YouTube, and as a YouTuber, we are reigned by algorithms, and unfortunately for me, that doesn't steer in my favor. So I decided to bring out more content in between the big ones. And I asked you guys to help me by filling out a little survey. Now, what did I ask in this survey? I said basically, let me know what type of topics or content that you would be interested in watching on top of the regular Watch Me Paint videos. And the top 3 results that I got were more tutorials, more reviews, and storytime videos, which surprised me, honestly. Like, you guys really want to know about more tea about me? However, I did leave a little option there in the survey so that if you had an idea that wasn't listed in the options that I provided, to write down your own. Ooh. And I did receive several ideas, many that I really liked. So I am going to take those now and offer you more content to keep you entertained, and so the algorithm won't make me irrelevant. One of those ideas that I received was to interact more with my community. Now, all of my little resin monkeys are my community on here on YouTube. However, the part of my community that would like to interact more with me would be those that actually paint themselves or would like to start painting themselves. Now, I may not be active in any GK community. However, that doesn't mean that there isn't one here on this channel. I have always been the type of person that loves to help others, and I think this channel pretty much advocates for that in general. One of the things I really love to do is to help people get better at their craft. And how do we do that? Well, constructive criticism. Now, there's a thing in this community, in this niche of community, I think any art community, is that if nobody is asking you for a critique, the general consensus and rules is to not say anything at all, unless it's required or it's solicited. The opposite of unsolicited advice, if you get what I mean. The only way to really improve upon your own work is to receive critique and advice from experienced painters that know just a little bit more than you do, so that they can help you, or in this case, I can help you get better by giving you advice on how to improve. I know that starting the adventure that is garage kit painting can be a little scary, especially if you feel like you're gonna get lost. So I want to officially invite any and all beginner to intermediate painters to reach out to me so that I can give you advice on how to get better and how to really enjoy this hobby to the fullest. These critiques would be answered in their very own video on an either monthly or bi-monthly event where I collect all the entries from willing participants to show them on screen. That way, not only will they learn, maybe somebody else might learn from their experience. I think this is a great little opportunity to interact with my little resin bean sprouts that are just joining in. And well, what better way to have a veteran guide them? We all start somewhere, and as I said it before, I will say it again. Painting your first garage kit is like when you're cooking pancakes. The first one is always lumpy. I often think that I intimidate people because I feel they might think I might judge them, or even worse, make fun of their first time or their work in general, but that's not really what I'm here for. What I'm all for is to really help you get better so that you can really enjoy painting your figures without the fear of failure. basically. For those that want to participate in these solicited critique and receive my advice, I have left a link to a form down below in the description so you can participate and we can get this ball rolling. And what better way to put my money where my mouth is than by critiquing my very first attempts at painting garage kits. Now, these could be considered a Leona's Workshop long lost media.
Anything.
No! Because these are just pictures. There are no videos. There's nothing. I started this back in 2006. I didn't know what I was getting into. And all I can say is that be grateful that I still have some pictures that I can show you. Yes, I will cringe. Yes, you will laugh. But the most important thing right here is that I want to show you that even the most experienced painter or painters have their own humble and very embarrassing beginnings. These were originally published on a blog that I had many moons ago when I created my new website, or the website that you know today. I did not include these pictures in there because, well, many of them are blurry, and honestly, it's a little embarrassing. I started doing commissions in 2012, so I thought, why just not start the year gallery at that point in time and leave everything else to be forgotten. Hence why I said long lost media. Before you ask, do I have any of these figures in my current possession to show them to you? No, except for one. I have one out of all the ones that you're gonna see that's still in my collection. The rest got damaged at one point in time, and I will tell you why. So I had to mainly throw everything away because of all the damage. Either cats toppled it over, or I didn't glue them correctly, or I just, you know, history. That's what happened, history. I think I've mentioned this in the past before. If not, I will mention it now. I had my interest sparked to paint things way before I did garage kits. I used to go to my aunt's little workshop and school to paint ceramics every weekend when I was out for the summer vacation. And I would paint little trinkets, I would paint ceramic ornaments and even mugs. She basically deposited that little seed in me for the love, the interest in adding color to things, using paint to color things. So if you didn't know, now you know. And I thought in my sweet summer child self that painting garage kits was going to be exactly the same as painting ceramics.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Yes, look where we are now. Also, did I mention that when I visited Germany, I was invited to the one and only Nymphenburg porcelain manufacturer? I didn't. Well, if you saw my Instagram stories last year, you would have probably known. But if not, well, yeah, I got my own very personal and private tour of the entire place. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was just invited one day. The person that sent me the invitation worked there, and she was like, would you like to come and see what we do here? And I thought in my little naive mind that it was going to be exactly like, you know, my aunt's little shop. I was like, sure, let's go. Maybe I'll paint a mug. Yeah, to my surprise, when I got there and saw the entire fucking castle in front of me, I was in disbelief. Did I? No, I did not. Okay, would you like to see a video on that? Let me know in the comments. Leona's Adventures in Germany. All right. I know you're excited, okay? You all want to see little Leona's first baby steps in this hobby, so without further ado, let us begin. Well, my dears monkeys, may I present Leona's first attempt at garage kit painting. You may already know her. She is Eternal Sailor Moon, And she was featured in my first storytime video. If you haven't seen that one and you're curious to see how I got into this hobby in the first place, I would recommend you watch that one. I'll leave the card somewhere on the screen. And yeah, go watch that, come back here. If not, just stay here and then go, whatever you want to do. This was the very first kit I ever painted. Now, in my inexperience, in my naivete, I thought that painting this particular figure was going to be easy. I already had acrylic paints from, again, my ceramic painting days. So I thought it's gonna be the same. So I even had a sealer, like a really glossy sealer, because ceramics tend to be glossy. So what you are seeing right now is the product of my very first attempt at it. I bought this kit on eBay, and many moons ago, like 20 years ago, the only way to get these kits were through that sales site. But I didn't know what I was getting. I was getting a Thai version of this kit, and let's just say that it was extremely hard and brittle. Like, it was rock hard. You couldn't sand it, you couldn't do anything to it. I didn't know you had to sand it. I didn't know anything, okay? So I just painted the pieces and glued them with Oohoo school glue. Oohoo school glue, okay? So that's how bad it was. So she's not pinned. The picture, obviously, 20 years old. So it's gonna be from a potato phone, from a potato cell phone. So excuse the really poor quality. This is all I have right now. But what I did do was try and paint her the way I thought it would look pretty. And I remember the first time I saw her assembled, even though you can't really see it, you see all of the brush strokes. Like here, there's like a hair over here. It's rough. Like the lines are kind of crooked. I did my best to stay within the lines, but in general, she was just very pretty to me because I hadn't seen anything else at that time. But I enjoyed it, even though it was a little frustrating to glue everything because, again, she wasn't pinned. I didn't know you had to do such a thing. And well, yeah, her wings ended up falling several times. She didn't have the two little strings on the back of her. She didn't have those, so I grabbed a little bit of string that I had and basically glued it on the back, as you can see. Looking at her again, it's like, wow. I don't know how I was able to do that, but I remember I just had like a tiny star wooden plaque and I just painted it white, like a pearl white, and just literally glued her on it. Again, she's not pinned at all. Well, she wasn't pinned because I don't have her anymore. And you know why? Because she fell and she broke into 1,000 pieces because she wasn't pinned. Okay, I didn't know you had to do that. This was Leona's first attempt, and I did try to do her eyes. Like, I did try and focus on painting her eyes the best way I could. And like I said, I was pretty proud, especially when I had Primer Kun come over the first time and he saw her and he was like, oh my God, the eyes are amazing. Nostalgia. This was Leona's first garage kit. My second attempt was a little girl, and I say little because she looks big here. I didn't even know where she was from. She, to me, looked a lot like Nana Komatsu from the Nana series. Okay, if you want to know how big she was barely 10 centimeters or 4 inches. She was that small. Again, I didn't know when I saw that figure in a website that no longer exists. No, it does exist, but let's just say that they are legit now. They don't sell these kits anymore. I bought her because I was really excited after I painted Eternal Sailor Moon, and I was very into Nana. I'm still very into Nana back then and now. And when I saw this little figure, this little girl, again, super blurry, potato phone camera from 20 years ago, so unfortunately you can't see much, but you see there's Eternal Sailor Moon right there. She, I painted her, I colored her hair the way that Nana looked, and I just put a little chain that I had that I could no longer use because I am actually allergic to nickel. So I was like, well, I'll just put a little chain that I don't use. And that's it. That's all I did. Now, notice how they're both really glossy. And that's because the only gloss sealer that I had at that time, which was, again, a ceramic specialized sealer, well, I did want the dress to look really glossy, but the rest, it was my second attempt. And this one, again, she wasn't pinned either. She was just glued with school glue, literally, liquid school glue that I had somewhere in the house. And that was my second attempt. And I did paint her in maybe like a few days. She was small. I didn't know all the things that you needed to do to a figure. I did have some problem trying to put the arms on to the torso because the arms are a single piece. Like they connect, this part was connected to this, so it was just like an L shape that I had to glue basically. But the eyes were so small and the lips were so small. I really tried my best. And again, I was still riding from the high from the previous figure. And I was really in love with Nana, and when I had this little one, I was like over the moon. This is what it really means to enjoy something before all hell broke loose. I did paint her with just simple, like how many colors did I use here? How many paint colors? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had all of these colors. I tried my best to not leave brush strokes like I did with Sailor Moon, but I really didn't know how to do that. So even though it might look okay, when you saw it up front, you would see all of them. These are all the pictures. So these are all the pictures that remain of her. She no longer exists because she fell. As you can see, she had no base at all. Absolutely no base. So it was bound to happen. She was bound to fall at one point or another and broke into 1,000 pieces. I lost the pieces and I said, well, thank you so much for your service. And that was it. Now, after I had my adventure with hand brushing, I finally found a community, a dedicated community back then. I would recommend you check out my storytime video and also my Laws and Greed video where I explain basically the origins of the Western Garage Kit community, which was part of my own adventure in this hobby and how I found my way through everything. And I will leave those links in the card somewhere. I recommend you watch them really when you have time. When I joined this community, obviously it was a forum. We're talking about, again, 20 years ago. And everybody was posting, everybody was sharing, and I would look at all of the really nice works from everyone, and that's when I didn't feel as proud or as happy with my first two figures when I saw, well, what the pros were doing at that time. One thing that I noticed that the pros were using was definitely not hand brushing. They were using an airbrush. Now, I didn't have any idea of what an airbrush was. When I started to look into it, I got really excited. And well, I went again to eBay and looked for a really cheap thing. It cost me like $15 airbrush. And I got my first airbrush in. And with that, I bought my third kit. As you can see now, if you don't know who this is Simka from Air Gear. Another very old anime, but it was an anime that I was watching at the time and I really liked it. And when I saw this particular figure, I really liked it. It was dynamic, it was cute, it was fun. I liked the character, so I was like, why not? So this is my third attempt at painting kits. Now, I bought this on eBay. It was a really bad quality version of her. It was rock hard. She had a lot of things that I didn't know how you should have fixed them, particularly gaps. Now, I saw so many people use like this gray putty that apparently was what everybody was using, and that's what I bought, but it didn't really do much because again, this material that these kits were made of, it was rock hard. You couldn't really sand them or anything. So what you see gaps here, and you can see the glue because I switched from the Uhu glue that I had to super glue, which, well, I don't know. She might look stable on that base, but she was not pinned. So this may be indeed my first airbrushed figure, and I had my own adventure trying to learn how to handle an airbrush. I started to buy the specialized paints though. I bought my first Tamiya acrylic paints at the time. I remember I found them at a hobby store in San Diego when I was over there. So I only bought the colors that I needed because, you know, money. So I only bought the colors that I needed. I didn't need a lot, just pink, white, and green and black. That's all I needed, plus the skin tone. The skin on her, I remember I bought Tamiya's skin tone color, and I thought I was going to be able to just get that really nice creamy light color that I always saw everybody else paint on their kits. It looked really tanned, like so tanned. We have a tanned Simca. She unfortunately fell because my cat rubbed against her. And when she fell, because she wasn't pinned, again,
say the line, Bart!
She broke into a million pieces. And it didn't help that the resin was very hard and brittle and broke. That was the other kit that went to the trash. You know, I did my best. I didn't know that you had to mask. Didn't know how they got crisp lines and everything, so I did my best to just hand brush the green and the white stripes. Did try my best, especially with the eyes. I thought I was doing something really cute and stuff. I think this is the time where I started to compare myself to others, especially. I felt a little inadequate when I saw everybody else's work compared to mine. But I had a lot of fun using an airbrush for the first time. Obviously, there's not a lot to say about the quality of the paint job. I didn't want the glossy look anymore, but I didn't know what to use back then to seal anything. The paint came matte. I remember when I saw that the paint turned matte when it dried, I was like, oh great, I don't have to seal this. You do have to seal it. And I actually used a brush-on acrylic sealer for the little parts that are glossy. It's a learning experience. She might not be here anymore because all the hair strands that you see, those went bye-bye. Had this been properly pinned, she might have survived, but I highly doubt it. Blurry pictures again, potato camera. Very, very overexposed shot. You can see gaps were visible here. I used a gray primer on everything and it made everything look really dark. As you can see, like here on this portion of the hair, you can actually see the gray primer gaps. I had dirty hands, dirty fingers, and when I grabbed her, I left my fingerprint there. So you kind of wonder where I have all these anal things that I have to do constantly. You have to pin, you have to fill gaps, you have to use gloves whenever I'm doing pastel shadings or whenever I'm handling painted surfaces. You kind of wonder, like, why does Leona do that? This is why. I learned because of these experiences, and now I just do it as a default. But if you're wondering why I do all that I do, it's because of this. Now, I lived in an apartment that had yellow paint everywhere. I hate yellow. It makes me depressed. And pictures here look really, really bad. And the coloring of the walls didn't help. So I apologize for that. But again, this is lost media. You will never see this anywhere on my website or somewhere else. This video will be the only time you get to see Leona's baby steps. Oh, here we go. You see more super glue right there. Gaps here, gray there. I lost the little bow that she had. I would look at all the people on that forum showing how they sanded things. I didn't really know what they were sanding. I thought that you had to polish everything. That's when I learned that every kit had mold lines, and that was the thing you needed to sand and not just randomly on the surface, which I apparently did. But I broke that little bow and I decided to do just like I did with Eternal Sailor Moon and added a little string bow right there. There was a crack on the little skirt, but because again, the material was so hard and brittle, I tried to fix it, but I just couldn't. So I just left it there. My first airbrushed attempt, which I think went okay. It is what it is. We have a very good close-up of the face.
Oh my God!
Not perfect, obviously. Even after I did try my best, they look okay. They look well done for someone that was at that level of experience. You actually see one of the broken strands here. They had already broken. The hand, it's not really well painted, like the airbrush didn't go into these little areas because I didn't notice. The nails I painted red. I don't remember if she had red nails or not. I couldn't really do much because of the material, because of my inexperience, and because I just didn't know better at all. My third attempt, because the eyes were bigger compared to the first two, I think I did a little bit better job but you can still see all the smudges like here. You can see smudge, smudge, smudge. Like I didn't have the experience I have today, but you can see it's not clean. You could see a seam line here, but again, I tried to sand that, but had this been a normal garage kit, like an OG garage kit, I could have done probably something like that. It is what it is. She's gone. She was thrown into the bin. She wasn't pinned, so she went the way of the dodo. These are all the kits that I did from 2006 to 2010. I do have more, but I think this video has gone on long enough. Maybe we can leave the critique of the other kits for the next video, for when the participants send in theirs. Let's do this. When you send in your submission, I will open the video with a critique from my old kits. How about that? Before I say anything to anyone, hey, how about we look back at my at my work, because I have at least like 10 or 12, 15 figures that are not on my website at all. They are considered lost media at this point. This is what I wanted to show you. Everybody starts somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's small or big, if you had experience or if you didn't. You learn through each and every new project. Oh, I want to learn how to matte coat skin. How do I do that? Oh, it's just that I keep getting the same tan skin even though it says skin color, but I want it to look like more creamy, more light. How can I do that? Oh, it's just that, you know, my figure keeps falling apart. You gotta pin it. Each and every single figure that you paint is another little coin in the bucket of experience that you acquire, that you collect. So whatever you applied on this one, you can think back on it and improve on the next one. I always had that sentiment in mind. If I finish this figure and if it looks like this, my next figure, it needs to be better. That was my way of thinking, my sentiment. Obviously, there are people out there that might just like to paint because it relaxes them maybe, or just because they want to experience it, but they're not into this hobby, or they don't want to get into this hobby to become professionals, and that's completely valid and fine. Not a problem at all. But if you want to learn, and if you want to challenge yourself to do something different, to do something that might scare you, that you're not sure if what you're doing is the correct way to do it, well, you'll look back on it in the future and you're like, yeah, I could have done so many different things. But that's the point of this hobby. The point is to enjoy it like I did at the beginning, and then afterwards being extremely hard on myself, and still to this day, after seeing everybody else's work, and just enjoy it. Because to me, those two first figures that I painted were so beautiful to me and so pretty. And I think that's what you should take away. The feeling at that moment that you felt when you finished something and you said, I painted this, and be proud. Even if it's all lumpy and if you throw it away in the future. My guitarras and monkeys, I hope you enjoyed this little stroll through memory lane and lost media. I will leave that submission form down in the description if you want to participate in this, even if it's 1, 2, or 5 or 12 people that want to participate in this. Trust me, I won't laugh at all. The video will not be made so we can make fun of your work. All the contrary. The video is so you can learn for the next one, and maybe other people can learn from your experience so that they can apply it to their experience in the future. I think approaching this topic of the constructive criticism with kindness makes all the difference, because you're on the internet. The internet has changed a lot since I started this, and nowadays you see every other asshole saying shit or just dunking on your work or whatever. You know, I've seen it so many times. It doesn't really feel like it's a welcoming environment for newbies. I want to change that. I want to change the feeling that if you are completely new to the hobby, or if you're an intermediate painter but you feel you have a long way to go, I want you to feel that this is a safe place, safe space to show your work and learn, and to not be judged. This is my figure. This is how it turned out. What could I do so that I can paint the next one better? And I think that's what this hobby and a community is supposed to be. My dear little monkeys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. If not, you probably already saw me at Anime Expo, because this video, while recorded a week before AX, will be uploaded afterwards. I might somehow get the panel filmed. I can't really promise anything because AX rules, but I will try my best to see what I can do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, to get you like a little synopsis or, you know, little highlights of the panel that I will give. So I hope that I got to see you there, and if I didn't, well, I'll see you in the next one.